my anxiety wasn't this like giant monster anymore. Changed my life so much that I just have to share it with people. Hey guys, welcome back to Unshaken, the podcast where we talk about real life emotions, everyday fears, and all the messy little things that shape who you are. I'm your host Lola Bella, and today I'm going to be talking to you guys about something that I bring up all the time but maybe haven't fully explained to you. Maybe it's something you've never heard of. And that is emotional intelligence. And before you switch off, like, ugh, that's just another big buzzword, sounds boring. Trust me, I understand and was so skeptical at first. Emotional intelligence is the reason that I'm here and I'm not losing my mind every 5 minutes. It's the reason I can actually handle my own thoughts, come out of horrible situations completely unshaken. That's such a bad pun. Honestly, it is just the reason that I'm here doing this podcast today. And it's changed my life so much that I just have to share it with people. I will not take no for an answer. You will learn about this from me. Before we get on to that, let's talk about the things that we're loving this week. For me, actually today, within the past couple hours, I've discovered that I'm loving persimmon. My little sister has been watching the Caligari sisters and she saw them eating persimmon and was very interested in what the hell it was. And then she went shopping with my mum and there was persimmon in the supermarket, which I've never even seen persimmon. Like, I thought it was a mangosteen when I saw it, but there was persimmon in the supermarket. She bought it, we tried it, and it was amazing. It's a very faint, fruity, really sweet taste. It's literally the bottom, you have to try it. I think it's obvious now that we're in the festive season. I am loving all of the flavours. I got a chai tea the other day and I'm really missing the pumpkin spice latte, guys. I don't know why they don't still do it in December. I know it's an autumn drink, I know it's fall, but I just can't let it go. So I got a chai latte with the cinnamon dolce syrup in it. Wow. Wow. It was so good. And it was actually festive. Like, it was making me feel quite festive. I don't know about you guys, but I don't even feel like it's Christmas until like the 22nd of December, especially this year because I've been working so much and been so busy in my life. I just haven't felt the festive vibes, but it really, really did get me back on that track. So I'm really excited about that. It's gonna be my festive drink, I fear. Maybe my festive drinks would have some like nutmeg or some kind of pine in it. Can you eat pine? I don't know. It's a tree, isn't it? It's a Christmas tree. Should you eat pine flavored things? I don't know, guys. Lastly, I've been really loving this mirror that my mum got for me for my birthday. It's amazing. I have it just over here. I'm actually using it as a ring light at the moment as well. It is a ring light shaped mirror. It has a magnetic mirror that like is 5 times zoom, so you can like look at your whole freaking face, look at every single follicle in your face, and it is magnetic on the mirror, so it doesn't leave any marks. It's amazing. It has 3 different light settings, and then you can turn it up and down on the brightness. My life has changed. I have terrible lighting in my room, and it's literally changed the way that I do my makeup. So, what even is emotional intelligence? Because it does just sound like a buzzword and it just kind of sounds a bit like a nothing word. It's everything. Emotional intelligence in normal language is basically just understanding what you feel, why you feel it, and I would also add where you feel it because I think that's very important, where you're feeling the emotion, and choosing how you respond instead of letting your mind drag you around like a puppet. It's basically like the manual for your emotions that no one gives you when you're born. This is a manual that we should be given when we're born, like a Bible, and no one talks about it. People don't talk about it enough, you know? We learn maths, we learn Shakespeare. No one teaches you how to deal with the fear at 2 a.m. when your brain decides to ruin your entire night by dragging you in the past to things that you've done before and you just can't let go of. And yet, it's that stuff that actually matters. It's those nights that you're spending up at 2 a.m. in fear that then dictate how you act the next day because you go to sleep in a state of anxiety, and no one likes that because then you wake up anxious. It might not seem like it, but I swear there was a time when I just reacted to everything in a negative way, especially when I was younger. My dad passed away when I was very little, and although that didn't have as big of an effect on me, I would say it had a pivotal impact on me because I grew up without my birth dad, and I grew up without a dad until I was like 11 when I met my stepdad. Because I grew up with a single mum, I depended on her for everything, and I grew really, really strong abandonment issues and attachment anxiety to her because if she left, I felt like I had nothing. So I would be taken to school in the morning by my mum and have full mental anxious breakdowns every morning because I could not leave her because I was convinced she wasn't going to come back for me, even though she did every single day. And I went to a really great school and I had a great day when she left. But I would literally fight, kick, punch, hit my teachers. They had to hold me back, physically hold me back to keep me staying at school while she walked away. I was also in therapy when I was very little. I think by the time I started primary school, I was in therapy for grief and also because of these anxiety issues I was having. I was such an anxious child and I was a very self conscious and very insecure child too. Anytime that there was a small change in plans with my friends, full on meltdown because I was convinced that no one actually liked me. Because, you know, when you're outspoken and a little bit funky, a little bit quirky, a little bit weird, I was never really afraid of being myself when I was younger. But when you're like that, you are a target. Unfortunately, like it is just like that. Most people get bullied when they're at school, and that really, really impacted me. I didn't have any language for the way that I was feeling. I didn't know what it was. I didn't know how to calm myself down, and I definitely didn't know how to separate my emotions from the actual reality. The moment it clicked for me, and the moment that emotional intelligence saved me, was when I realized your emotions aren't facts, they're signals. So, if I add a little bit of context for you guys, my parents had already been part of this crew, this group, this community of people, let's say, who were doing emotional intelligence and emotional mastery. They were mastering their emotions and taking control of their lives. It was all like middle-aged grown adults. And I went along with them to one of these 3-day retreats where they would all um kind of work on this thing together in a group where it was like a safe space for everyone. And I think I was 14 when I went the first time. And I felt so strange. I was the only kid there. Everyone else was grown adults, and I was 14 years old. And I'm so glad I went when I did. I'm so glad because I would not be the girl I am now if I didn't. I'm not kidding. It changed my life to the point where I actually went twice. I actually went twice to this retreat and I would love to go again. And if you guys want a full breakdown of that, I will make a separate podcast episode for that. When I finally started to understand my emotions instead of fighting against them, my anxiety wasn't this like giant monster anymore. Fear didn't control every decision that I made, and I wasn't constantly living in like survival mode. It felt like waking up from something that everyone else was asleep to still. And I realized, oh, I actually can train my mind and I don't have to be stuck like this forever. Like, this isn't actually what normal has to be. It sounds really dramatic and like it takes physical endurance and loads of extra time and work. And it does take work because you're unlearning everything that you've been taught, right? But it's not this huge dramatic change where you have to change everything about yourself. It's just the small things, like noticing when you're making a decision out of fear or pausing before you react from emotion rather than what the actual reality of the situation is, and asking yourself what you're actually feeling in that moment instead of focusing on the story behind that, because we often will act a certain way. Say you've had a fight with your friend, you'll be focusing on the story, what he said, what she said, blah blah blah. None of that is important. You only need to focus on the feeling that you have and focus on bringing yourself up to a higher level and to a more positive level, being above the line. When I say above the line, I mean the line. Below the line is all of those negative emotions: fear, shame, guilt, anxiety, anger, all of those. Apathy being the very bottom. Above the line, you have courage, acceptance, and then peace. And peace, you'll know when you feel peace. You'll know when you feel it. It's the best feeling ever. It's like being high. You need to make a decision from above the line. Absolutely. Even if it's just like courage, bravery, that's better because that's good intention. You can't allow yourself to spiral just because a thought feels like it's real. There is no my truth and their truth. There's just the truth and the reality that everyone is living in. Everyone shares the same reality. And that should be helpful for you. The main point that I want you guys to take away today is that you're not crazy, you're not too emotional, you're not dramatic. You've just not been taught how to understand your emotions and how to get out of your mind. Once you realize your mind is your biggest obstacle and you can do anything, I'm not even just saying that, like, you actually can do anything. It's only your mind that's stopping you from believing that. And that little worm inside of your brain telling you you can't do something. Why? Why? Give me one good reason why I can't do whatever I want to do. Once you realize that, you will be unstoppable because fear is no longer controlling your life. You are. This week, before we have another Sunday together again, when I see you again, I want you to try, when you feel something intense, anything, it could be anger, fear, anxiety. I know we all get anxious. Whenever you feel an intense negative feeling that you would usually spiral at and you would usually overthink at, don't jump into the story that your mind creates. Just ask, what is this emotion? Where am I feeling this emotion? Because we often tend to suppress our emotions too. You have to sit in that feeling. Whether that means you start crying, whether that means you start screaming, as long as you're not physically hurting yourself or someone else, just feel it. Just feel it. You're not going to hurt anyone by feeling your emotion. It's a visceral reaction that you should not suppress because that will only make it worse. Eventually, it is going to come up. And if you keep pushing it down, it's going to come up much worse than it will if you just feel it right now. Ask yourself, what is this emotion trying to tell me? Is it coming from a survival instinct? Am I searching for control? Am I searching for safety? Am I searching for approval and validation? Because at the end of the day, you will never have control over anything. If you're here right now, you're breathing, you're okay right now in this moment, then you're safe. So you don't have to worry about being safe. And the only approval that you need is your own. That's the only approval that you should worry about. And those few questions basically changed everything for me. Now that I know the pattern that my thoughts go through and I know how to pull myself out of that, I don't feel trapped in my mind anymore. And I don't really actually remember what it feels like to be that anxious. I would never want to go back to feeling like that. That's why I want to share all of this with you guys. Okay, that's my little emotional intelligence rant today. I hope that kind of cleared up what it means, because I talk about it a lot and maybe I haven't properly explained, or maybe you don't fully understand what it means. And it can sound like a bit of a meaningless buzzword when you just hear it being thrown around all the time. And if this episode hit home for you a little bit, if it hurt a little bit, if there was a little bit of a harsh truth there, share it with someone that you think could benefit. Message me, whatever it is, I don't mind. I love hearing from you guys. I love it when you guys comment on my content, on my TikToks, my Instagram. My TikTok is so fresh. I don't think I've even told you what my username is. Let me pull it up. Just for reference, I've literally been off of TikTok for, I think it's like 4 years. I'm not kidding. I think I've been off TikTok for 4 years. I'm very proud that I've gone this long without TikTok, but I'm also terrified that it's gonna like pull me back into my doom scrolling. So my TikTok is unshaken.by.lola.b. I am trying to change my username because I feel like that is so long-winded. You can just search Unshaken by Lola Bella and that will come up. And then my Instagram is obviously the Unshaken podcast. I think it should be the Unshaken podcast. Okay, so my Instagram is the Unshaken podcast. No caps, just the Unshaken podcast. I'll be back next Sunday with another little video for you. I was not expecting to get this in my feels today. This is a nice quick one, because I think actually my past 3 episodes have been so heavy and very long. So this was a nice little get to know me sesh, I guess. Kind of help you guys understand a little bit better what my brand is, what my, like, my goal is, my journey has been, and if you are interested in hearing more about the emotional mastery and the retreats, the courses, I can actually direct you guys to the retreat that I went on. I don't know if they're still doing the retreats, but I can direct you to the amazing legend that is Sanjay Shah. He, I met him, and he's a great guy, and he has such an amazing uh, journey and a vision that he's built with this course and guide, way of life, essentially. But yeah, he's really, really smart, intelligent, really great guy. I will see you guys next week. I think I'm gonna go decorate my tree now. I know it's literally December 5th and I haven't even put up any decorations apart from in my room. That's probably why I'm not feeling festive. I should probably go do that. But I'll see you guys next week. Love you. Bye.